Since early morning, Kyiv's skyline has been lit up with Russian air defense systems and missiles. The Ukrainian capital, which till yesterday witnessed traffic snarls and panic-stricken citizens lining up outside ATMs and supermarkets, are now a deserted ghost town.
Day 2 of Russia's invasion of Ukraine saw its air defense systems firing across Kyiv's skyline. What looked like a residential building was on fire. Ukraine says the attacks were carried out by Russian cruise or ballistic missiles. After hours of early morning attack, this is what Kyiv looked like after sunrise. India Today, the only channel reporting from Ground Zero, captured the devastating and haunting images.
This is the ground floor, let's say, or the first floor, and there was a guy inside. It's a sleeping room, this one, with a balcony, and there was a guy sleeping inside when the rocket landed here, and he's fine, but in a shock, but it happened when he was asleep. I cannot even imagine what it feels like to be sleeping and you wake up and this happens at your home.
Sirens sounded across Kyiv as residents were told to seek refuge in air raid shelters.
People have been sitting here from 5 o'clock in the morning, right after these loud explosions have been heard in the city center. So not all of them really want to talk or show their faces because the situation now is really tense and everybody understands that the worst probably is yet to come.
Several residents were seen fleeing into bomb shelters, metros and subway stations, as the streets of Kyiv remain deserted.
I'm almost in a bomb shelter. Therefore, in any minute, I can switch off. A few minutes ago, we've heard a heavy shelling, a heavy sound, kind of bombing. At 4 a.m. in the morning, there was attack over Kyiv, but our anti-aircraft system protected Kyiv citizens.
Meanwhile, Ukraine President confirmed that Kyiv is under siege and that Russian forces have entered the city. He issued a stern warning that the Russian armed forces would seize Kyiv within 96 hours, bringing a new Iron Curtain down on Europe.
They have declared me public enemy number 1 and my family enemy number 2. They want to destroy Ukraine politically by destroying the head of the state.
Across Ukraine, explosions were reported.
Viewers can hear this. This is Mariupol. You hear a series. Hear the sound. Hear the sound. This is Mariupol.
Russian tanks entered the port city of Odessa and wrested control of Chernobyl. With Gaurav Sawant in Mariupol, Maria Pysarenko and Jan Husar in Kyiv, Bureau Report, India Today.
As the battle rages across Ukraine, including in the capital city Kyiv, civilians are taking shelter now in underground metro stations, bomb shelters, to hopefully save their life. India Today's reporter Maria Pysarenko visited one such metro station that has now turned into a temporary bomb shelter in Kyiv. Take a look.
Hi, it's Maria Pysarenko reporting live from Kyiv, Ukraine, and now we are going to walk to the bomb shelter. Not bomb shelter as it should be, but the metro station, because due to the threat of war, a lot of metro stations in central Kyiv and also on the outskirts have been turned into full-scale places for people to hide during the sirens going. So now we are coming as normal in the doors of metro station. So the places where usually the tickets are sold are now closed. It says technical some problems, but in fact they just do not work because this was the issue of the state of city council to make all the transportation right now, public transportation, free of charge. So as you've seen, I didn't validate any ticket to get to the platform, and this is the state of such a situation will continue for as long as the martial law is declared in Kyiv. I want to remind that martial law is declared all over Ukraine because of Russian invasion. So now we go on these long steps, on this escalator, we go down to the platform of the station. So here is everything as normal, some ads from the previous life about coronavirus, so to say, and not so much people, because not many people are now traveling around the city. More people are using metro stations as the places to hide when the sirens, when the air alarms are going. So I will back to you in a minute when I finish walking down this escalator. So now we will talk with some people who are staying here. They will explain us why they decided to go here and spend the night here. So, добрий день, як вас
Ночуємо вдома, але просто була сирена, яка попереджала про загрозу. Тому ми взяли собаку нашу і спустились в метро, щоб перечекати цей час. Потім підемо додому.
Як довго ви плануєте бути? Тобто сирена ж була?
Зранку ми були 4 години, потім ми були вдома, не було сирен, потім спустилися 5 годин сюди.
І от поки що залишаємо?
Поки що так. Ну, я сподіваюся, що вже так. Ще півгодинки посидимо та підемо додому.
Але ночували ви нормально без спокою?
Та пів 5 ранку, так. Ось сьогодні вже сирени там.
So Irina tells us that she didn't spend the night here on the station. She just came here twice during the day after the sirens went loud. And for example, now she has been sitting here for 3 hours already and planning on sitting half an hour also and then going home. So I will also show some other people sitting there. So Irina tells us that this is her son and her pet, a dog. А як звати собаку? Aurora. Це дівчинка. So the dog is called Aurora, and she's also spending time here on this caramat. So a lovely creature, also hiding here from the Russian threat, as you can see. So a lot of people and also a lot of animals hiding here on the platform of metro station. So we will try to ask someone else. Добрий день. А можу просто пару слів буквально вас запитати, чому ви вирішили тут? Чи ви ночуєте, чи ви тимчасово тут? Ні, можете просто так.
Ми тут ночуємо, так. Ми тут залишилися вже на... Це буде другий день, бо я не знаю, може мені так везе, але я застав перші постріли у Харкові, які були прямо по моєму району. І коли я перебрався в Київ, по моєму ж району прийшлися розірвані, збиті російські ракети.
Це Васильківська була вулиця?
Це була не Васильківська, це були Позняки. Там,
це сьогодні зранку було, так?
Так, сьогодні зранку, бо це було буквально там 700 метрів від моєї домівки. Тому я вирішив далі не випробовувати судьбу, долю. І лишитися тут до наступної можливості. Не знаю, чесно кажучи, не знаю. Може я залишуся в Києві, може я переберуся кудись на Західну Україну.
Другий раз тікати – це взагалі, мабуть, найгірше. А як вас звати?
Олександр.
Дякую. Дякую величезне. Сподіваюся, що все буде у нас з вами разом добре. So what Alexander has told us is that he decided to spend the night here because he was under Russian attack actually twice. For the first time in his native place in Kharkiv, in his region, so it was the first day of war. And the second day when he came to Kyiv, it was already the second day of invasion, 25th of February, and the parts of a Russian aircraft which was shot down by Ukrainian military fell close to the house he was in. So it is kind of double time when he got in trouble, I guess, with this with Russian invasion and felt it at his skin. And now he says that he is willing to stay here in safety rather than go somewhere where the safety is questioned and changing again his position. So he says also that maybe he will fled to the western part of Ukraine, but now, as of now, he is thinking about this decision. And you can also see right now people, crowds of people, a little crowd with children and their belongings running to the metro station as a shelter because the sirens were reported to be going in several minutes. So here is the station. It is Palat Sporta station in the center of Kyiv, and as you see, there are a lot of people lying here with their belongings, with some cozy stuff, with food, with plaid and coats, everything making them comfortable and helping stay here for some time. Because as I've heard from people here, they say that it is dangerous for them to stay in a lot of their places where they live. For example, there are people from Minsk Massiv here, there are people from Obolon district, the places which were shelled this day, the second day of Russian invasion. And as you see, the station also works as normal public transportation, and there is also the National Guard and police who is guarding, who is patrolling the station just in case. So as you can see, people are carrying their stuff with them and also supplies of food, of water, of some soft drinks. People are sleeping, listening to music, watching something, reading. So there are a lot of actually people of different ages sitting here in the platform, and more people are coming. So you see that there is still some worries. So some people bring warm tea with them, some people bring their pets with them. So people are trying to make themselves comfortable in the circumstances which does not provide them this comfort even close. So as you see, these people are all staying here on the platform. Some of them are spending the night here. Some of them are spending several hours only after the sirens went loud. They came here and planning to go home and spend the night at home. Of course, they say if there will be no shelling, no new attacks, and Russia will stop someday and they will feel much better about this. But now, as of now, they decide to feel safe and stay here in the platform of metro, which is now a public transport in Kyiv and also kind of a provider of makeshift bomb shells in Kyiv. It's Maria Besrenko reporting live from Kyiv, where the war is actually going on.
India today has now accessed new satellite images from the Russia-Ukraine border captured on 24th February. Satellite images show Russia has deployed armored vehicles, artillery and helicopter on the borders, just 20 kilometers from Ukraine borders. Images are also showing that Putin has already appeared to be preparing for a prolonged battle, which means in no mood to step back for now. Ankit Kumar gets you this exclusive report of what the satellite images actually show the situation on the ground.
tanks crossing into Ukraine. An air assault on key air bases. Warships afloat in the Black Sea. Ukraine is under attack from all sides, land, sea and air. India today has accessed satellite images of what is being described as the biggest attack in Europe since World War II. Proof of how Russia is preparing for more assaults on Ukraine. These images were captured on the 24th of February, the day Russia invaded Ukraine. They show a new ground attack helicopter deployment near Tomarovka in Russia, 20 miles north of the border with Ukraine. The satellite images also show deployment of armored vehicles and artillery in the border areas to the north and east of Ukraine. On Thursday, Russian troops captured the Chernobyl nuclear power plant entering through Belarus. But clearly, the Russians are not stopping there. The satellite images show Russian troops with more than 50 heavy equipment transporters on the border of Belarus. A large military convoy is also visible in one of the satellite images accessed by India today. Russian convoy can be seen 6 miles east of the border, heading in a westerly direction towards Ukraine. What is evident from these images is that Russia is preparing for a prolonged battle. In fact, Russian forces even set up a new field hospital in 24 hours, 15 kilometers east of the Ukraine border. This report filed with inputs from Ankit Kumar for India Today.
It is important to understand before and after to help us really know what is the situation on ground. 2 days after Russian invasion, devastating pictures of death, destruction emerging from Ukraine. But on Wednesday specifically, Ukraine woke up to a war. The once peaceful, bustling streets of Ukrainian cities are now unrecognizable. There is rubble, debris after Russia's full-scale invasion. Take a look of how the city used to look earlier, what it looks now.
Death, destruction and doom. Life in Ukraine has come to a violent halt 2 days after Russia launched an invasion. The impact of war on the nation is grave and visible. The streets of Kyiv, which were jammed with thousands of vehicles when the Russian threat escalated, are now hauntingly desolate. The capital city of Kyiv, where nearly 30 lakh people once resided, one can see piles of rubble after Russia's air assault. Homes destroyed, people homeless and on the run. Ukrainian and Russian forces fought a fierce battle in the Sumy region in Kharkiv. The aftermath is troubling and saddening. In southeastern Ukraine, the city of Mariupol, where shelling continued non-stop on Wednesday, many areas are reduced to debris. Plumes of smoke can be seen after Russian troops started pounding the city. The Chernobyl plant has now been captured by Russia. The plant is infamous for being the cause of the worst nuclear disaster in history, both in terms of cost and casualties. New images after the invasion showed Russian tanks prowling the premises of the plant. The city itself has been a ghost town for decades now. The takeover is more symbolic than anything else. The disturbing images show Ukraine's tipping point into humanitarian crisis and that there are no winners in a war. Bureau Report, India Today.
The Russia offensive against Ukraine has now been raging on for over 40 hours. The missile attacks, shellings have forced Ukrainian citizens to take shelter into bunkers and to avoid mainly possible airstrikes by Russia.
There is nothing more jarring than the sound of air raid sirens. When the hooter goes off, it's a desperate dash to safety. The bunker has become home to many. Not many are lucky to escape the barrage of artillery fire by Russian forces. 2 days into the war, cities that were flourishing a week ago lie ravaged. Bodies are piling up, buildings reduced to debris. Those who are fleeing the war heading to the nearest border. But for most, the only refuge is air raid shelters and hastily constructed bunkers. The stocked-up supplies are running thin. All that Ukrainians can hope for is that somehow the shelling ceases.
It's hard, but I'm holding on. We have been sleeping, but we woke up to an explosion at 4:20 a.m. near our house. An aerial rocket was shot down. Yes, and a nearby house caught fire. And there were many victims. And we were waiting until 7 a.m. in our apartment, in the corridor, in the bathroom, until the end of curfew. So we can come here. I work here.
In a matter of 2 days, life has turned upside down for the people here. Safety now is to be huddled up in a dimly lit underground cavern and hoping that one day this nightmare will end.
People have been sitting here from 5 o'clock in the morning, right after these loud explosions have been heard in the city center. So not all of them really want to talk or show their faces because the situation now is really tense and everybody understands that the worst probably is yet to come.
With Maria from the conflict zone Ukraine, India Today.
I'm heading into a very short break. Don't go anywhere. Lots more on the other side.